Hi, I'm Venk.
And I'm Jaya.
And this is the Reality Hate episode 26. It is episode 26, right?
It is. I just can't believe we've done that.
I mean, we have 26 episodes, plus a few more little fun things. And you know what would be real awesome is if you, our viewers, would like, ding, and subscribe. Smash! 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 The button, because we are funny. And I don't know how many episodes we can do to prove it, except you need to watch us and entertained. Jay and I took a week off and we're back and we're gonna recap the 2 episodes of The Real Housewives of New York and the 2 episodes of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I don't know how I feel about the drama. I've got a lot of feelings. I've got a lot of feelings about Breshan that I want to talk about with you.
Yeah, me too.
I can't even. But we're gonna hit highlights and really breeze through this, and so you can give you the chunk of things that really matter. And shall we take it away?
Yeah, let's get started with the recap.
Recap
of The Real Housewives of New York.
Recap.
Thanks, Luke Lazalte. So we open on Ramona's left the conversation, right? Because we're in the episode before this last one. And, Sonia tries to have a discussion with Luann and Ramona about why Ebony is bringing this up and why it's important. And both women just don't want to hear it. While Luann, to Ebony's face, seems to understand, and I think that Luann really does understand what Ebony's saying. When she walks away, she's siding with Ramona about it being too much and how they don't want to discuss politics and race and what have you. But really, the point Ebony was trying to make was, it's fine if you voted for Donald Trump. Fine, that's your belief. But tell me that you didn't vote for Donald Trump because you believe in white supremacy, which is one of his big platforms, right? Not a big platform, unsaid platform, right? It's something he believes in. It's something he supports, supposedly. Mm-hmm. And she just needs to hear that. And Ramona can't give that to her because Ramona can't seem to get it through her head.
Ramona is in desperate need of what we call critical race theory, and which they're currently fighting to teach in school, because why educate people? Why do that? Would be so anti-American. But Ebony's trying.
She's trying, which we see in the next episode, that her grandmother in the seance believes that she's doing the right thing and she needs to keep moving forward with her mission, platform, and her mission, right?
She's a mission. She's literally Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation.
Yes.
Trying to make a difference. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Be colorblind. Don't be so shallow, and vote.
There we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So then they finally sit down to dinner. We learn that Ebony's grandmother passed, Katie.
And that, I think, is one of the things that bond her and Leah.
Yes, I agree. And, I thought it was really the way Ebony always handles herself. I love it. I mean, she didn't ruin the trip. She didn't sob over it. It came up. She said, I feel weird not mentioning this and I need to, bring this up, but my grandmother passed. They had a moment. She moved on. And then in the dinner, Breshan, because let's just get right to it, it goes in. She just begins her nonsense.
You know who Breshan reminds me of?
Who?
It's not in what she says, it's in how she behaves. She reminds me of $25,000 sunglasses.
She is like 25,000 sunglasses.
25,000 sunglasses.
20.
The thing about her is that, like, the issue with 25,000 was that she was so desperate to like fit in. Breshan is actually even worse because it's so contrived. And this is the thing where it's like, what is going on with the editors of the Real Housewives of all of these franchises? I think the only one that's still giving me something is Potomac, and we'll talk about Potomac a little bit later. Right now we're swamped with New York and Beverly Hills, but I honestly think of all the franchises, Potomac is still keeps on raising the bar. It could be because it's one of the newer
Possibly.
but yeah, my Breshan just acted foolish. She acted foolishly.
Yes, she acted foolishly. She came in hard and fast, you know. I wasn't so offended by when she said, "Oh, you guys are grandmothers." I got the joke. I got where she was coming from, but like, read the room. These are women that like can't take the joke.
Yeah, they get.
You know, I mean, Luann's not going to be called a grandmother. Like,
when Luann is a grandmother, will she be wanting to be called a grandmother?
she will be wanting to be called Countess.
Discountless.
Discountless. So she basically becomes extremely offensive. She, you know, goes in on Sonia, right? I mean, she just really attacks Sonia. She just really goes for it.
And the thing about Sonia is that we're very aware that she's drinking too much. And why, when Breshan has been told, don't like poke the bear, when the bear is fully a 90% blood alcohol level, don't poke that bear. It's like when somebody's not even coherent and like, why would you, like, why are you, it's kind of, this is when I was like, Breshan's kind of evil. Like, she seems like a real shady person.
Yeah, I mean, you know, she was, and her she was defending herself and saying like, "Oh, I'm just calling it like it is. I'm just calling it like it is." It's like, no, you're not. You're trying to be mean, and you're thinking that these other women are going to side with you, and it's not nice. And you're not being bold, and you're creating drama that nobody wants, and nobody's going to, you know, team up with you about it. Like,
honey, you're a friend of the show.
yes, okay? You're a friend of the show.
SAG ULB per episode, okay, honey?
Yes, and you know, it also bothers me that, like, you know, she had a discussion with Ebony about what Ebony was doing, and she, while she doesn't disagree with Ebony, she felt it was too much and she shouldn't be trying to educate these women. I find that problematic.
I think Breshan is just, it's just, I don't even know if she believes the things that are coming out of her mouth. I find her to be so frivolous. I just find, like, I can't take anything she says seriously because she's a frivolous human being.
Right.
That's how I feel about her. Like, she's not entertaining. She's not interesting. That she bores me. She's trying to start drama, but it's not like even good drama. She's like basic B drama. Girl, you don't even know. You're in the Real Housewives of New York. You need to step the drama up.
Yes. Well, and we also find out that Breshan has had a ton of lawsuits at that dinner. Do you remember hearing that? That they had, like, she's in a ton of lawsuits. She's had a lot of trouble, which I would think she could kind of like identify with some of those women.
1,000 times. I'm like, maybe you shouldn't tell people that. I'm just saying.
Right. And, you know, I don't know. I just feel like when she called Sonia a clown, it was below the belt. And, you know, I don't know. And Ramona stands up for her, which I think is bad.
Ramona's an idiot. Ramona's still like, if I don't stand up for her, people will think I'm not a Trump supporter who, you know, like, she needs people to know that Trump supporters can like Black folks too.
I mean.
No, they can't. If you're a person of color that voted for Trump, you hate yourself. You hate yourself. Candace Owens hates herself.
Well, the other thing is she also tried to cause trouble with mentioning that everyone's talking about Leah. Now, everyone is not dissing Leah and talking about Leah. I thought that was...
You made that up.
Yeah, she's just trying to cause trouble and trying to like insert herself and kind of solidify her place in the Real Housewives. She's trying so hard. It's awful. It's painful.
It's foolishness. It's foolishness.
It's foolishness. Also, we should jump back. They did go to the village, the village in Salem, where none of them dressed up. Everyone refused to put the clothes on.
Clothes on.
Put the clothes on. I got why Ebony was like, yeah, I'm not putting the clothes on.
Ebony, you don't have to put the clothes
on. So then we jump forward. Everyone basically leaves that dinner and they go back to the hotel. And what happens again? Breshan shows up. Nobody wants to see her when they're having a cocktail. And Breshan goes in again about it, attacks Ramona again, and everybody leaves.
Attack Sonia again.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Ramona, but whatever. Attack Sonia.
She should have attacked Ramona.
I mean, I wish somebody would.
You know, and then Ramona just stays silent. Everyone leaves. And Ramona's like, you shouldn't have done that. She's fragile. You know what? You're fragile, Ramona. Like, I'm
a strong independent. Why wouldn't anybody love me?
And the other thing that happens is at the end, when everybody separates, people go back to Leah's room. They hang out. Sonia is drinking more. They leave. Breshan decides to come down to Leah's room.
Get a melatonin.
To get a melatonin and go in yet again.
And that's where we're like picking up at the last week's episode, or this week's episode rather.
Right, where there's a fight.
Altercation, and Sonia destroys breaks glass for the fire extinguisher.
She breaks the glass with her purse, the glass door of the fire extinguisher. And yeah, I mean, the producers have to like pull them apart. It's this whole thing. But my favorite part is the next morning, Sonia does not feel bad about it. She's like, I feel attacked by Breshan. I don't feel bad. There's a part of me that's like, I kind of get it, Sonia, even though I would not resort to that violence at all.
I mean, it's been a minute since the days we were like kids and drunk and like being kind of violent drunks when we were younger. Like we've all had those moments, but like now, never. And then like they're 10 years older than we are. Oh, actually, sorry, they're 20 years older than we are.
Yeah, they have to be 20 years older. They are not 10 years older than us.
No, we're
Some of them are. They don't look 10 years older than us.
Because we're minorities and we have melatonin.
Brown, don't frown.
Brown, don't frown.
So anywho, it happens, but my favorite part, let's get to it, is when Luann finds out, when Leah kind of like tells everyone, like Ramona and Luann about what happened. Luann's response is, I was arrested for not even doing something that bad. No, Luann, you were arrested because you assaulted a cop and you went into a hotel room that wasn't yours. I'd say that's worse. I don't know.
Picked a cop.
Like, what is she saying? She keeps saying that though. That was repeated, you know, like, I didn't even do anything that bad. I think what you did was worse.
This is where we need the critical race theory taught by Ebony K. Williams, because had she been of any other color or any other financial status, screw it. Had she been a rich Black woman, she'd still get like shot.
Exactly.
Discussion.
Yes.
So sick.
Before we keep going, I do want to touch on one thing.
Yes, of course.
From the last episode, which is when Sonia went into Ramona's hotel room and went into Ramona's bathroom and there was poo on the floor.
I didn't see that.
Yes,
Wait,
there was
what?
poo on the floor, and Sonia goes in and is like, "Oh my God, there's poo on the floor." And Ramona's like, "Silly, that's not poo. That's my makeup. That's not poop. It's my makeup." And then she goes in and shuts the door and like cleans it up. But you pooped on the floor.
Why does Ramona keep Wait, who pooped the last time?
Ramona.
Wait, this might be a sign of like her incontinence. I feel bad.
Not right, but she pooped on the floor. There was poop on the floor, and Sonia got it on her shoe. She stepped in it.
Wait, is that going to happen to us in 35 years?
I don't know, probably in 55, which is how much older they are than us.
Yeah. You're young.
But we're minorities and our buttholes are naturally tighter.
Gaslight everybody, tell them things about minorities that are not true. Actually, our skin peels off whenever we age, like we get new skin every year. There was a TikTok joke going on around where girls would be like, like they'd have face masks on, but they'd peel them off and be like, this is what happens every time they get their period. And these are like high school girls like doing these TikToks where they're like, yeah, like my skin's peeling, it's my time of the month. And there were a bunch of guys that were like younger, like teenagers to early 20s that were like believing it.
Oh my God.
Man, if you go on TikTok, you are watching some of the most intellectual conversations and also the downfall of American society.
Yes.
Which started as soon as the Europeans landed here. I don't have high hopes.
I'm right there with you.
But luckily we're again minorities, and we weather all storms because of our genetics.
That's right. So
speaking of shit,
there you have it.
There you have.
So anyway, I just had to talk about the poo. But so anyway, the next morning, we're all kind of discussing this fight, right? Like that's what they're talking about, the big fight, which I actually don't care that much about because it wasn't like, I mean, while it was a big deal, the producers had to get involved. It wasn't a big deal, right?
I kind of like zoned out when I knew I was watching it. I was like, come on, move it along. I'm over it.
Yes. And Breshan egged her on and Sonia did get in her face, but she was being mean. Breshan knew what she was doing. She wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And so then, we get going, and before the girls kind of go shopping, which I'm like, why are you guys shopping? Why aren't we like soaking up Salem? There's probably so many cool things to do. We're going to go to Salem and do it right.
We need to go to Salem. I was worried that the townspeople were going to be like, burn the witch. Right after Ramona.
So they go shopping, but before that, Leah, Luann, and Ramona decide they're going to talk to Sonia about her drinking, which I don't think is a bad thing, but I think their timing is terrible.
These women have the worst. These women have the worst timing. I don't know who to compare their timing to, but like it's like as if you start a new career and you're hoping that and things are going really great for you, and then all of a sudden COVID happens.
Right.
Like that kind of timing.
Wait, do you think that could really happen?
Yeah, I know someone it happened to.
That's weird.
Me. You're looking up though. Anyway, continue.
So anyway, so they go shopping and then they go to lunch and they're all sitting at the table awkwardly. Is that a word? Awkward?
Yeah, awkwardly.
Yes, awkwardly. They're all sitting at the table and Breshan kind of steps it up and apologizes to everyone for calling them grandma, which like to me wasn't a big deal, but it was to Luann. And for kind of trying to force a friendship that wasn't there yet. Right?
25,000.
25,000. 25,000. You know, and the thing about her is like she's a life coach. Like never. Guess what, Breshan? I would never come to you as my life coach. Like, nope, never gonna happen.
I told people I was a fitness expert. I'm a no.
I would never. I mean, so guess what, Breshan? You will not be my life coach. So she apologizes to everyone. And she apologizes. So while she's apologizing, Sonia speaks up and says, this is what hurt my feelings. I thought we actually connected about a lot of things. And then, you know, you kind of come at me at dinner and you call me a clown and you insult me. And, you know, it really hurt my feelings because I thought that we had something that was building. And Breshan apologizes and steps it up and apologizes to Sonia. And Sonia, of course, doesn't like conflict and wants to make up and is so forgiving. And they're friends again.
Here's the deal. I'm going to just say it. Breshan, somebody in production was like, that was ridiculous. Do you want to keep your job? Apologize.
You
don't do that kind of like 180, you know, that
out of nowhere. I mean, maybe she was really able to read the room and realize like, wow, I made no friends, but
I don't have a lot of good things to say about this woman. I
don't either. And she keeps showing up. Like she is for sure a friend of the show because we see her in future episodes. And I'm just like, oh God, find someone else. I'll take Leah's sister over this. And I'm not even, you know, like.
Yeah, no, it's like.
They're all trying to bring their friends on, you know, like, I want my sister on the show. I want Breshan, not Breshan.
And I don't know, maybe the producers had this idea that they're going to bring a person of color that like has Ramona type views on the world.
But it's not working. It's awful.
Like we are witnessing bullshit. I call bullshit on this.
Right?
Not even a real friendship. They don't even know each other. I know this like the back of my hand.
Oh, you do?
Hashtag be best. I wonder what that little hooker is up
to. Who cares? So, anywho, then they get ready for dinner. They go to dinner and they are having cocktails before. And of course, Sonia decides to have a coffee martini. Barf. Like, ugh.
Wait, you don't like martini?
I don't think so. I like a regular vodka martini with cocktail onions.
Wait, cocktail onions, but what about blue cheese olives?
Occasionally, but like my family and my parents have a cocktail many nights. They have one before dinner. And
fancy. Just so you guys know, Jaya's family is like super fancy schmancy. Like they're hoity-toity, fancy, like they hold their fingers up like this. Her sister's fancy. They're all fancy.
No, we're not fancy. We do have cocktails before dinner.
Oh yeah, no, like that food was
know how to get down.
Yeah, you guys do. I want to get down with your family. You guys have a good time.
My family is nuts, but you know, I'll take them fine.
My family's not as entertaining as yours, so like you would adopt me because I'm under 18 and barely legal.
I know, I can tell. I mean, it's the skin. You're such a baby.
It's the skin. It's the skin.
I'm only 15.
I know.
So anywho, so Sonia's having this cocktail and they're like, now we need to have an intervention right now. Well, she's halfway through her martini. So they send Ebony to distract Breshan, and Luann, Leah, and Ramona call Sonia over, and Leah's like, I feel like it would be irresponsible of us if we didn't talk to you about this. We're concerned. We think you have a drinking problem. And she's like, okay, but I don't drink. I only drink when I'm with you guys, which she doesn't. She says she doesn't drink at home or drink anywhere else. But when she does drink, she doesn't stop.
My thing is like, if you're telling people you don't drink at home, but when you do drink, you drink at that level, I hope you drink at home. Like, if you don't, like, there's something really even
She's
worse.
Got to get it in. Maybe she should just get like, what are those Camelback?
Just, like, girl, just tame it or cut it.
Yes. And so basically, Sonia gives a zillion excuses as to why she's been drinking a lot more when she's with them. Luann has to mention again that she was arrested for a lot less. You were not arrested for a lot less, Luann.
You kicked a cop. Now, granted, there are a lot of cops I want to kick. However, I'm not a violent person. Okay? I want justice to be served the right way. Boom, boom, SUV.
SVU.
You know the stories.
That's how I know anything about the law and order.
Law and order.
Specifically SVU. I have watched like I think I've watched all the episodes.
It really, like, the special victims unit was all about just the most like heinous, dirty acts. And like, why did everybody love that?
I love it. It's, you know, what's so horrible is like, I found it so comforting. I still find it, like, when I'm sick or like when I had my kids and I would be home with them, you know, right after I had them, I would watch like 300 episodes in a row. And there was something so comforting about it, which is disturbing.
And no, I get it. Wait, but first of all, I got to be honest. When Christopher Maloney was on it, God, that ass, Christopher Maloney has an ass. My blood pressure's rising.
Yes, here we go. Here's another one he likes. Okay, I'll give you Christopher Maloney, but like some of the housewife husbands you like are not that.
But Christopher Maloney, he could do just about anything to my body.
Well, maybe he'll see this.
Chris, he's a heterosexual.
I know that, but you never know. Maybe he wants to go to the Chili's.
Now,
the Red Lobster.
The Chili's? Oh, I thought you were doing like a double entendre. I'm like, I'll clean up before. Ew.
Oh my God.
We're keeping that in.
Sounds good. So anywho, basically they get nowhere with Sonia. Sonia's like, yeah, I hear you. Moving on. I'm not gonna stop drinking. It was like the worst time. Like, I was like, what are they doing? This is stupid. You know, like it really just was. Like, I don't get it. It was a half-assed intervention.
It was not.
Also, like, from people, I mean, Leah, okay, but like Luann and Ramona, that's who she's supposed to listen to? No.
I only just kicked a cop.
I mean, you broke the glass of a fire extinguisher. That's way worse
than kicking a cop.
And going into someone else's hotel room. That's like money can't buy you glass.
That's like some fraternity guy type stuff. Like a dude wakes up and he's like, "Where am I, bro? Get off our couch!" Like, in that situation. Okay, so yeah, we're coming to wrap this up.
Anyway, let's get to the very end, which is the seance.
That's stupid.
I mean, okay, I guess we learned some things about people. Luann has a male in her life that's moody and they're going to go their separate ways. Luann says the guy is off. Probably not, Luann. You just don't want to like show your cards. Leah's grandmother comes through. And the medium also says that she's learning, she's studying Judaism, which she is. So, okay. Ebony's grandmother comes through, tells her to stay strong and continue with her mission. Sonia's father comes through, and we learn a lot there that her father was an alcoholic and he left when she was little, and she kind of grew up without a strong male figure in her life, father figure, which maybe explains a lot. Ramona's brother comes through.
None of this I believe, nor do I care.
I say I like this kind of stuff.
I know you do.
But there was nothing that I was like, okay, we learned a lot, but there was nothing that I was like, that's interesting. Let's dive in, like, let's really get to the root of that. It was like, okay, great.
Yeah.
And then they go to the dinner afterward, and Leah's got her dress on backwards, which I thought was funny. So I think now we should quickly jump into, basically we're going to recap. Recap.
Beverly Hills. We got to get into it.
And let's just say it's all about Erika, right? It's just both episodes. I actually am enjoying it because obviously we already know what's happened, but like I'm enjoying the way Erika is portraying herself as the
Erika, I would like to call these 2 episodes "Whatever Happened to Baby Erika Jane."
Did you
see what I did there?
What makes you a good improviser?
Yes, and okay.
Wait, was I supposed to yes and you?
No. Continue talking. But whatever happened to Erika Jane is pretty cool.
Whatever happened to baby Erika Jane? Yes, and she's going to jail.
I gotta be honest, though.
She's not going to jail. She isn't. She's turning evidence over.
I gotta be honest with you. I posted on TikTok, like, okay, I've been posting mostly like I don't believe Erika stuff. I'm gonna say this, and I
believe her.
I don't not.
I'm confused too. But I'm wondering if the documentary has gotten far enough away from me that I'm like forgetting things, because I don't know. When I watched The Housewife and the Hustler, I really had no question. And now I'm watching this, and I was actually angry watching her kind of go on this campaign about how horrible Tom is, and it's going to get a lot worse. She will say things that sort of give it away sometimes.
Yeah, I will say this. When they always cut to that one scene where Tom stops her from talking, that was pre any of this stuff happening. And they showed it then. Like he stopped her from.
Right. But like at the same time, I just don't believe that she didn't know anything that was going on. You know what I mean? Like, she knew he was having an affair, except she claims she only knew after.
But is there at least a 1% chance she could have just been a dumbass? I see. Here's the deal: the way they place it, she's placing it is everybody called me the dumb trophy wife, and now I'm this calculating woman. I have never once thought of Erika Girardi, Erika Jane, Erika whatever as dumb.
I don't either.
I've always
trophy wife. Yeah, he was lucky to have her. But dumb? No.
I've never thought
anyone thought she was a dumb trophy wife. Everyone loved her.
She does not come across as a dumb woman. She comes across as a hustler. She comes across as a woman who knows what she wants.
Yep.
How she's gonna get it. Like, she's strategic. Any celebrity, I could take like a J-Lo. Like J-Lo, you hear stories of J-Lo back in the day during In Living Color, and how she was just So, like, Rosie Perez could not deal with Jennifer Lopez because Jennifer Lopez had an eye on the ball. Like, she was like, I'm going to be famous and it doesn't matter what happens. And she got to where she was.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Rosie Perez was the head, like the choreographer and doing all the things. They never got on well. And I am a huge fan of both Rosie Perez and Jennifer Lopez. I mean, Jennifer Lopez is the queen of, like, lip syncing to Black women singing her songs. Let's just be Ashanti sung all of J-Lo's music. I'm sorry. It's true. Most people do not know this. Jennifer Lopez doesn't sing her music.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Ashanti's on, like every time they would.
Sorry, I loved her as Selena.
Yeah, she probably didn't sing that shit either.
I loved that movie.
I mean, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Jennifer Lopez is an amazing performer. It's just that nobody's considered her a great singer.
Right. That is.
It's like Madonna at least sings. That's her voice.
Right.
But like when Madonna tries to compare herself to Lady Gaga, honey, no comparison. Lady Gaga plays instruments. Lady Gaga sings. Lady Gaga is an operatic singer.
Right. Right.
Oh, also just like one note, free Britney, hashtag free Britney.
Yes, free Britney. So anyway, let's get to it. We open, they're finishing off the Sutton Crystal fight in the last episode. And I don't know, here's what I think. While Sutton was inappropriate and like, making a big deal, basically because she was left out of the gifting process, Crystal needs to just let it go and apologize. And I don't quite understand why she refuses. I mean, she's being a bitch. Like at some point you need to be like, look, I clearly hurt your feelings. I am sorry I used the word I did. I'm sorry that I've upset you and it's been this long and we're still dealing with it, but she just won't do it. And I mean, I think everybody else in the group is kind of like, Crystal, just apologize and let it go. It's frustrating to watch.
Yeah. It's frustrating. And I think they do move on. They do like kind of make like whatever.
But like Crystal, I was just like, this is not the battle. Like there's so many other things. This is what you're choosing. Just be sorry.
To be honest, I feel like Crystal gets a kick out of the whole situation.
Oh, she loves it.
Did you see her when she was like, when Sutton's like, you ugly leather pants?
I know, she's like,
listen, I'm going to say this. I do kind of enjoy Crystal. Like
I enjoy Crystal too. She does things that I don't like. She's not like, I wouldn't be like, yes, Crystal is the, perfect addition, but I'm liking her.
Yeah, no, like, I like that she gets a kick out of pissing off Sutton. However, they are friendly now. So it's like whatever's being shown on camera currently on the show, they're cool and I'm happy for them. I think Crystal's a very A-type and Sutton is very not. She's the antithesis.
Yes, but I also thought it was like super. I wished someone would have stepped in when she called Sutton inappropriate and awkward.
Oh, I
leave. Like I was like, that's rude. Like if I were someone sitting in that group, I would have been like, Crystal, that's just rude.
That is rude. However, it is the best soundbite.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah. We need those.
We need them. So anyway, we get past it. Then we find out that Kyle, Dorit, and Kathy tested positive for COVID.
Love it. I
mean, of course. Of course. Oh. I'm sure they took Regeneron and it was fine. So then during the quarantine, when all the girls are quarantining, everything starts to come out about Erika. And
I love the intercut headlines of like boom, 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 boom.
I know.
And we're like headline. And I'm like, We got it. We were there. Like
We know it all.
this is the problem with when reality and reality are not like matching the same time that we are, because we are way ahead of you in the Girardi Keys case. Case.
So you don't need to, but maybe some people aren't, but I guess we're assuming the audience is dumb.
Well, we live in LA, so we're obviously really young and really smart.
And finger on the pulse.
We have the finger on the pulses.
On the pulses. Oh, you have a tattoo. You destroyed your body. You chose to do that.
I did. I chose to do that.
Yeah.
Ramona, you suck it.
So basically it comes out and Erika's based on Zoom with all the girls saying that everything is a lie. It took a lot of courage to leave, for them to say that she did it to hide assets. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm still not.
Literally giving, sometimes she says things like, she's like, I'll never confess. Like there was like a soundbite I put on TikTok. There was a soundbite. She's like, I'll never confess. Like, I'm like, let's choose different words.
But you're also handing over evidence. So she said that like everyone is suing the firm and she's attached and she doesn't know why she would be named in the case. And, you know, she shouldn't have any criminal charges against her, even though 20 million of their $20 million went to her businesses.
$20 million.
$20 million. $20 million. $20 million. $20 million. $20 million. $20 million. Yeah, we see the $20 million all over your things. And so she's playing dumb, you know, like, I don't know, this last episode, and by the end of the episode from the week before, I was I felt the same way you did, like maybe she didn't know. But at this point, I did not, because I felt like she was playing dumb. And I feel like, you know, they're all supporting her and standing behind her, even though some of them are questioning, like, is this real? Do we not know her?
Why do you? Okay, listen, Gabrielle. Garcelle was not available for shooting. Why do you? Like, come on. There's reasons for the season. They didn't really give good reasons why Garcelle didn't go to Palm Springs.
Well, she's supposed to come late.
Sure.
She's coming late.
But you know, when timing is timing, and how, like, there's always a tip off. Garcelle's no dummy. Garcelle was in Models Inc. One of the shows ever.
I didn't even know that. Oh my God.
Models Inc. is so delicious.
I didn't know she was in Models Inc.
It was like our version of the reboot of Gossip Girl.
We like Gossip Girl.
We do.
We're both watching it, so whatever we do.
We do.
So then Lisa and Crystal go over to Erika's tiny bungalow, where she's counting all her pennies. And they go sit on her pergola by the pool where there's like a giant photo of Erika. And she's saying, woe is me, Tom, you know, she does, all these people are saying she's hiding assets. She's not. Tom isn't giving her any money. She's on her own. And it's all Tom's fault. He made a mess for everyone. She didn't do anything wrong. And her life lesson is the ladies should always look at their bank accounts.
And it kind of pours into, those episodes are the same episode. Literally, this could have been one episode because it really doesn't end on anything. It really doesn't. It's basically, you head over to Palm Springs. It's all the same thing.
Well, at the very end of the episode,
Please.
I want to touch on the fact that, so we do touch on in that episode, Lisa Rinna's daughter dating Scott Disick. And also her other daughter is in Mexico with the boyfriend. And Lisa Rinna is like going through her like clothes, her like archives that she's had. And like, I guess her daughters have never seen any of it. I was so confused. Like, how did your daughters never go in the garage into your like zip up closet?
I would be dying to go
Yeah,
into.
there would be no way. You know, like my mother has an extensive jewelry collection that I'm like, when she pulls stuff up, I'm like, I know what that is. I know what that is. I know what that is. I know what that, like, I don't know how they never knew about her dresses, her like dress collection that she saved. It just doesn't make sense. So at the end of the episode, we get to Erika and Kyle meeting up, and Erika has a breakdown. And it's basically like Tom is denying paying, you know, spousal support. He's not going to pay any of the bills. He actually wants me to pay some of his bills. She feels like Tom is punishing her. I mean, like, I don't know, you know, she's blaming him for.
Wait, where are we not at Palm Springs yet?
No, this is the end of that episode.
What happened in Palm Springs too?
No, because that was before the big court date. Now this is just all of this. And you know, she believes Tom's punishing her. She's scared for her future. Then we move to La Quinta, not Palm
Okay,
Springs, La Quinta.
but everything is the same. And by the way, you had texted me, you were 100% certain.
I'm not 100 because I have not asked Luke's family. I'll just say Luke's family has a house in La Quinta. They live in La Quinta now. They're retired.
They're fancy.
And it is a beautiful house. And the view and the way the backyard is set up. So the house, Luke's family, the house is very similar, has the pool with the that's on the golf course that overlooks the mountains. It looks like they are neighbors.
That area, La Quinta, I look Airbnb, it's like every house is about $3,000 a night. It's dope though.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Their house is Luke's family's house is beautiful.
Like I found one place for $1,500 a night, and that sleeps 10 people. So like it's kind of it's man. Well, I mean, we're too old to sleep 10 people. If sleeps 10 people really means sleeps 5 couples, okay?
Right.
We're going to Chili's.
Are we sure Chili's? Because I have a real taste for Red Lobster or Sizzler.
Listen, I have crabs. Okay, continue. Let's finish.
We get to La Quinta. We see Kyle's house. Then we also see Erika giving up her clubhouse.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. It was downtown LA. I know. I was like, wait a minute.
It was still pretty great, right?
When I lived downtown, she was like, that place was only three or 4 blocks away from where I used to live. Hell, I mean,
it was full of a lot of clothes, but you were fancy.
Nobody's fancy in detail. Okay, it's a lie.
So anywho, then they're kind of like all the girls sort of arrive in La Quinta, and Dorit announces that she saw headlines and she read an article about what happened. Erika had a court date and was coming down after, and she saw, well, the court date was actually in Chicago because that's where the lawyers were for the victims of the plane that crashed and the money that was stolen from all of those people, their families. So anywho, Dorit read an article that said basically all of their assets were frozen, and because they were using at least 2 million, a lot more than 2 million.
Crystal Doe did say like 2 million seems like a lot, but not for Tom Girardi. And that's the truth. $2 million is not a lot for somebody like Tom Girardi, but like Tom Girardi was a lie.
Well, and also we find out it's more than 2 million, but we're in this point where we are learning like, oh, maybe he misused 2 million. No, he misused a lot more than that.
2 million is an easy check for Mr. Girardi, right?
Yeah, he's not going to go on a phallic rocket ship anytime soon.
Jeff Bezos can suck a dick.
I mean, yeah, he can suck his own rocket ship dick.
I hate that, man.
I know.
Oh, by the way, I gotta order something from Amazon. Hopefully,
did you see the New York Times article where like the Amazon drivers are like pooping in bags and like peeing in bottles?
it's heartbreaking.
It is.
This guy's a
He
piece of
enjoyed
shit.
that. I hope he enjoyed that time in space with his 18-year-old friend.
Whatever's in space is not illegal.
Come in my penis ship for a few minutes.
Like that. Anyway.
You can free fall.
Ew. Gross.
Anyway, so basically beside it, also in the article, they said that the lawyers suggested that Tom be evaluated because they didn't think he was of the right mind.
Yeah, we knew that.
So then Erika arrives, she's crying, she's devastated, and she says that everything is not going to be okay for a long time, but she's relieved that Tom's lawyers are now finally looking at the fact that maybe he has, dementia or
whatever. He's lying. We hear more lies. She makes up this ridiculous story about
you also said you believe her a bit.
Yeah, but now I'm just sick and tired of it because now I'm not getting my head straight. Listen, yes, she's convincing, but I will. So for a second, there was that. But then Sutton called it out when she was at dinner at near the ending of it. She's like trying to explain the car accident. None of it made any sense.
I still don't understand the car accident.
That reminded me of Phaedra explaining her pregnancy.
Yes.
Or She by Sheree. It'll come out March, September, April.
Oh She by Sheree. Sheree, do you remember when she got an agent? My husband and I still laugh about when she got her first agent at the People Store. The People Store. That was her agency. The People Store.
That's not an agency. CAUTA, UTI.
And the People Store.
The People Store. Yeah, no, she was as bullshit as Phaedra was about her pregnancy.
It was confusing. And then also, she starts talking about how she has to count all her pennies. Tom is not giving her any money. She heated her pool for 3 days. And she was like, I can't heat my pool. I've got to count my pennies. I was just like, okay. I mean, she is selling her clothes.
Good. Congratulations. So people can also dress like you, Erika, although I do want some of your clothes.
I know. And so then also, someone asks like, well, are you, maybe he'll go through this divorce quickly and maybe you'll get what you want. And she's like, there isn't anything to get. She knows there's nothing to get. It's all gone.
Yeah. And if you
know, up.
Like she's literally just showing her hand.
And wearing old clothes. She's like, you're not going to take some of these things, but you can have this gray jacket that they're going through the videos. She's like, I'm going to wear all my old stuff. And then when they ask for that gray jacket, I don't care. You can have it.
My favorite is like, she pulls out, she's like, I never found.
I haven't had this in 2 years. Worn this in 2 years. Look, it's a lip gloss. Lip gloss. You can have this lip gloss.
Give me that sweater. It was the Free People one.
Yeah, exactly. I'll wear that because I know they're watching me, so they can take that.
Not the Free People.
Yeah, exactly. So she's wearing. So she because it was like you've never seen her that casual. Even in her casual wear, it's like runway ready. So then she also opens up about the fact that Tom cheated on her, and she didn't look until she watched David and Yolanda get a divorce, but she knew before. Like, I feel like that's BS, but she needs to pour it on thick, right? And she said that Tom never denied it. I don't know. I just like have a hard time with all of this.
All of it's bullshit. It ended there at dinner. But what happens next is like a whole hullabaloo. We actually see Sutton and Erika getting into it. And
Sutton's questioning the truth.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, I don't know if this is real.
Like that Camille Grammer on Twitter has been just hilariously roasting. She's like, oh, look at her with her mascara not running. I'm like, yeah. No, not Camille Grammer, whatever Camille's last name is now. Who'd you marry this time, Camille? I guess you and you're dancing on MTV.
She's one of my least favorites.
Huh? No, Camille.
One of my least favorites.
One of my least favorites. Yeah. But that was a great recap. I think it might be time for taglines. Taglines. So the first tagline comes from an old pal of mine, Kirk Diedrich. Thank you, Kirk Diedrich. I can't even with your face right now.
The next tagline comes from friend of the show and comedian Anthony Decimito. And his tagline is, I'm twice the other woman. I've got 2 vaginas.
Thank you, Kirk, and thank you, Anthony.
Yes.
And audience for our 26th episode. By the way, we really want your tagline. So please email us at realityhatef@gmail.com. That's REALICYHATEF@gmail.com, or write it on one of our Facebook pages, or write it on the comment section, or write it in our TikTok, or write it in our Instagram, because we are on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and we personally are also on Facebook. I'm also still single. And if you want to go to the Chili's cookout, you're more than welcome to.
Oh my God, Chili's has a cookout?
Yeah, in my butt. Anyway, I'm Venk.
And I'm Jaya. Bye.
Bye.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Okay, start.
Blackwater. We like it.
So good.
Quenches that thirst.
So good.